Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Crochet Convertible Blanket bag. So if you have a child on the go, this is a kind of a perfect project because you have something but then you can convert it into a bag like you see. So it's really quite neat and it's you can actually transport your stuff all the way around. So what we're going to be doing today is that I'm going to get you started, and once you get past a certain part it's just a matter of a repeat. So you can repeat it as much as you would like to do it. Then at the end of when you're done, you're going to do a chain that will be able to circle the entire thing, and then you'll be able to half double crochet across that chain. So the other thing that we're going to be doing is that there's a handle. It's the same format, so you're going to be attaching it there. You're just going to chain enough so that it can go over. So there's no actual chain information on how many chains that you can need to do because it's convertible. You can do any size that you wish. So the project that colors that you see here is actually Bernat Pop yarn. And so we have all of the information for you. It's using a 5mm size H crochet hook, and there's also a crochet diagram on the second page. So once you get to the certain part here, you're just going to continue to repeat over and over, and you will notice that it will just get gradually bigger on its own as you're continuing your journey. So we have to be able to get there. So we're going to see round number 9 is slightly different from round 10 and 11, but the repeat is round 9, 10 and 11. So after you get 11 you do the same format. So just watch the various ends here. See how there's 2 in there and not in here. So you gotta watch that in order to keep the growth looking pretty flat. So without further ado, I am going to be using on camera today Red Heart with Love stripes. It's got some striping yarn. It's fun, and I'll use my 5mm size H crochet hook. I don't know how much yarn you're going to need, but as far as like changing out the yarn, but it is 3 balls of the Bernat Pop if you want to figure out the metric yardage for that in order to convert it to any other type of yarn that you would like to play with today. So let's get going. So let's begin our journey today, and we're going to start with the slip knot, and we're going to do our beginning chain. So the beginning chain, using a 5mm size H, you're going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then you're going to slip stitch into the first chain to form the ring. So slip stitch in, so yarn over, pull through and through, and now this is the center ring of your blanket. Now you're going to put the straggler around the outside of that so it gets stuck up underneath, and then we're going to begin round number 1 in just a moment. In round number 1 we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and around the center ring I need you to put 11 double crochets in here. So let's count those out together. So we have 1, and with that chaining 3 that's gonna make it a total of 12. So chain 3 counts as 1 as a double crochet as well. So technically when I count all the way around at the end of this, I'm going to just make sure there's 12, which includes that chain 3. Now I'm not counting at the moment because usually I don't, and I just like ram in enough stitches that I just kinda get it close to what I think it should be, and then I guess and then I fill it in. That's just something I do on my own if you weren't watching me. So I'm gonna count now. So I'm gonna count that first chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and one more will equal 12, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 to bring it to conclusion, and this is round number 1. So you can now safely, if you've gone all the way around that straggler and buried it underneath, you can safely cut that out and be done with it. Let's move on to round number 2. Let's begin round number 2. I'm going to give you the repeat instructions and then you can carry on your own. So chain 3, there's your first double crochet, and in the same one of the join put another double crochet in. And it looks like my yarn's just changed color. So in the next stitch available to you, put 2 double crochets in. So each stitch all the way around, place 2 double crochets, and I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm gonna show you something to watch for when you get back around as well. So 2 double crochets in each. I'll see you at the end of this round. So I've now just come all the way around. A lot of mistakes new crocheters do. They think this is a stitch and it's not. It's leading into the first one. So just make sure you should have 12 groups of 2 when you come all the way around, and then you're gonna slip stitch to the top of the third chain up. Okay, so just make sure you don't add that extra what you think is missing. It always has a little bit of an extra space, so that's just something that comes with the job. So let's begin round number 3. Okay, we're gonna create a V-stitch as we start off in this one here, and right where we are we're gonna chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and in the same one of the join place another double crochet. Now what I need you to do is skip the next one and go into the one right after it and do another V-stitch. So start it with the double crochet first, then chain 2, and then double crochet into the same one. I'll show you one more time. So skipping the next stitch and V-stitch into the next. So start with the double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 3. When you get around number 3, you're doing your last V-stitch, and then you are going to attach to the third chain up of the chain 5 that you started with in the very beginning. So slip stitch it in. You should be able to count 12 of these V-stitches all the way around. I've already verified that, and now we're gonna move on to round number 4. So these V-stitches are going to be acting as our corners that we have, or like the points of your star. So we're going to, there's 12 of them, so there will be 12 points. So to start round number 4, you're going to begin to slip stitch to the chain 2. So right where you are, just slip stitch over, and this is where you're going to begin. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3 counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet back into there again. Then chain 2, and in the same one put 2 double crochet, and we're changing color again. It's kind of fun. Okay, so come into the next V-stitch and come to the chain 2 that's between them, or like in the middle of the V-stitch, and then right where you are right now, just immediately jump on over and put 2 double crochets first, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. And I want you to do that in every V-stitch going all the way around. Okay, this is called a shell. This is what we're doing. So jump to the next one, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and all the way around. I'll see you at the end of round number 4. So I'm coming up to the end of number 4, and I'm just going to slip stitch it to the top of the chain 3. So going forward in this pattern, every time we start a new round now, we have to do the same thing. The only difference is going to be is that we're going to be increasing stitches per point. So let's move on then to round number 5. To do that, we're going to slip stitch to the next one away. So we're in the top of the chain 3, we're gonna slip stitch into the next one, and that's where we begin a new round. So you're going to start and you're gonna chain 3. That'll be a double crochet that's gonna be sitting in the stitch, and then you immediately go to the point at this point. So the amount of stitches between the points is going to be increasing as we're carrying on. So in the point you wanna do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet, and after you're done the point, you're not quite done, you have to do 1 double crochet in the double crochet right after the point, and then that one's done. Then you move to the next one. So when you move to the next one, you're immediately going to jump and skip over the 2 middles, so you'll always do that, and then you'll go into, so you're gonna go to the 3rd stitch, put in a double crochet, and then in this case you're into a point again. So the distance of where you start and jump to the point will continually get bigger as you're moving along. So remember, the points are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and just remember, if you're putting in these stitches on the one side before you start an edge or before you start a corner, you have to make sure that you put an extra one at the end of that as well. Okay, so just make sure that you keep that in line. So skip in the 2 middle, and then just jump to the next one and start going up the other side, and as soon as you run out of stitches, just start your point and then go down the other side. Please do this. This is round number 5. When you get to the end of number 5, I'm just filling it in, and then you're just gonna slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Nice and bright. So let's begin number 6 now. So 6, 7, and 8 is still continuing on without being a repeat yet, so we have to be paying attention to the point more than anything. So you need to slip stitch over 1 to begin. We talked about that before, and then we're going to just chain 3. So 6 is slightly different than what we've been doing. So we're going to double crochet the next one, and I told you there'd be more stitches before you get to the point, so now there's 2 instead of 1. And then on the point of number 6 is 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. This is going to allow it to easily expand out so that it doesn't buckle. So that's all there is in the points, and then come down the other side. So there's gonna be 2 in a row. So you skip over the 2 middle and then go up the other side. So there's gonna be 2 going up in this time. And I wouldn't be too concerned about counting it so much, just know that you have to skip over the 2 in the middle, and then this time is a V-stitch. So it's double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then climb down the 2 on the other end. Look for the middle point or the middle section there. Skip the middle 2 and immediately jump on over it and climb back up. Please do this all the way around, round number 6. So I've just come around to number 6 and I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Let's start round number 7. So remember we have to move over 1 to start a new one, and chain 3. So there's your first double. So you're gonna climb up. So in this case there's only 2 in a row, and now here in the point on round number 7 is that you're back to the 2 double crochets first, and then chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and then you're gonna climb down this side, and you just have to make sure you skip over the 2 middles where they join, just right there. So you skip that and then go to the 3rd one and climb back up the hill, and then your points are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then climb back down. Please do this all the way around, round number 7. I've now just come around on number 7, so I'm now going to slip stitch to the beginning chain 3. So I'm gonna show you one more round and then we're gonna talk about the repeat. So we need to shift on over. So round number 8 is just shifting on over 1, chain 3 to begin, and then you have to climb up the top to get to the point. So this time there's 3 in a row. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just filling in this the stitch work, and then in the point this time for number 8 it is 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then climbing down the other side. So you keep climbing until you get to the 2 middles. I guess slide down the other side, I guess that's a better way to say it. So I'm looking for the 2 middle, skip, and then just jump over those 2 and then climb back up the hill. These should always be the same equal number per point, and then remember this is number 8, so there's gonna be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 8, and when we come back we're gonna be talking about the repeat for the remaining of this project, and then we'll get into the handle work after that. So once I come around to number 8 I'm just going to join it to the top of the chain 3. So let's talk the repeat pattern that we have. So you'll notice in the instructions that rounds number 9, 10, and 11 is the repeat, but we've already technically done it already. So remember 2 rows back we did this V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 2, V-stitch only into the point, and then we did 2 rows of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2. So all you just need to do is keep repeating these last 3 rows that you did. So it's just gonna be 1 time and then 2 and 2. That's how many that you have in the point, and it's gonna allow this thing to lay flat. So they're recommending to us between the points from one side to the other is about 33 inches. So let me just back you out a little bit here. Is about 33 inches in diameter, but because this is convertible on the handle you can make it any size that you wish. So if you want something smaller you can do that, like I'm gonna actually do this now. So you're gonna continue then just repeating those last 3 rows over and over and over, so that the last row has the 2 that you see here. So it's just 1, 2, and 2, and 1, 2, and 2. So let's just review on how to fasten off once you're ready to do that. In the meantime just continue to crochet and meet me back here in just a little while. Now when you're ready to fasten off, let me just show you. I've just trimmed my yarn and I'm just gonna pull through. This is just meant to be something fun, so the coloring, if it bothers you then obviously you want to plan your colors more. It's up to you, your call. So just put it through a tapestry needle and turn it to the back side, and then just dragging it on the back side only through some stitch work. Now this will be used, so you want to make sure that you're going inside the stitches itself, and you just go back and forth in a slightly different path 3 times. And then you should be able to safely cut that, and that should never be able to fall out on you. So let's talk about the handles next when you're ready for that, and let's begin that. So you see looks pretty flat, and it is. Let's begin the handles. So the next part of this process is that we gotta create this drawstring. It's actually done as a row. I thought it was actually fed through and then crocheted as it's going, as far as like feeding the chain through, but no. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do it long enough that it will get all the way around, and then you're going to then half double crochet across it, and then you're going to feed it through all of them and then sew it shut on the one side here. This here handle is actually sewn to the drawstring handle where we have it right here. Okay, so you're gonna see that going on right in between 2 points. So we're gonna be attaching that as well, so that that handle is stable and the other one will completely adjust and just move around in order to pull it shut. Let's begin the drawstring next. So keeping the project close to you, you're just going to just chain, and you're not counting any chains at all. You're just chaining, and you just want to use that project and kind of just make sure that it can circle around the project on the points. So just kind of eyeing it up, and you're going to follow that all the way around. So just do a long enough chain to go all the way around the outside of your blanket. So I got the chain to go all the way around. If you think you need to tighten it up, then just take out a few chains, and if you think you need to give it more, then just add more. So with this here, we want to just add in our half double crochets across the chain, and so you're going to work this through. So go into the third stitch, so 1, 2 and 3, turn it to the back hump of the chain and just half double crochet, and I want you to half double crochet all the way across the chain, and don't fasten off right away because I want you to feed it through the loops, and we're gonna use that final strand to be able to sew it to the beginning. So let's do that. Just half double crochet across your chain. So I'm just coming all the way to the end with just half double crochet, and I am going to cut this yarn, but I'm gonna leave it long enough so that I can throw it through a tapestry needle to close it with sewing. So I'm just gonna pull through, and I'm gonna take the other side of this and I'm gonna start going around. So you just want to be consistent when you're going to feed this thing. So I'm gonna go from the back and pull up this, and then I'm gonna come to the next one, come from the back and pull up, and I'm just gonna work my way all the way around to feed it into the chain 2 spaces on the points, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, once I'm all the way through and around, it's going to relax in time, so don't be too loose about it in the very beginning. So I want to use my strand that I left on that's long, and I want to sew it to the beginning section here. So I'm just gonna come straight across and attach the pieces, and I would do it as a whip stitch, so just kind of push them together. Now I've already shown you how to weave in your ends normally, so then do the same process with this loose end or with the beginning strand, and you want to make sure it's nice and tight. Do a nice job on it, and then you're going to have it so it will go through and keep going back and through, and if you want to tie it a knot, it'd probably be better too. Just make sure that you keep weaving in some ends so that it really gets stuck in there, so it becomes part of it. So then you can just safely then cut that out, and then you can weave in the other end, just going back and forth on the stitch work itself, and then maybe back here we're gonna talk about the handle. So I now have it joined, and now I can just safely join it. So this is always gonna be flexible, because when you're ready to go somewhere, all you can just do is pick it up and then just pull, and it will close in everything. So I'm not gonna do that yet. So now you want to put a handle. So the handle is gonna go in between 2 points. In this case it's not very wide, and you're going to do the same process of doing the chain. So you're just going to guess your chain just to 2 points, and you will have to sew those to the actual 2 points itself. So just enough to reach on over that, get your hands in. Obviously yours is gonna be much bigger, but just enough to make that handle, and then once you're ready to go, this one is a double crochet, so go 4th chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th, and then double crochet all the way back, and then you're just going to sew your handle to the 2 points. So this handle becomes a fixed part of the condensing. So even though the drawstrings can draw close, this one is always going to be a constant. So we're going to just attach it to the 2 points directly. So as you're coming up to the end, go right into the very last one. Leave a long enough strand so that you can safely then sew that to the point, and then you're gonna need another strand for the other side to be able to sew that in too. So you might as well cut that while we're at it. So we're gonna pull this through, and we're gonna use that strand, and we're going to attach it, and I would attach it directly here and here. Okay, so let's do that, and we're just going to grab a tapestry needle and just put it down into place. If you don't want to use the handle, it's up to you, but everything's obviously negotiable, right? So we want to attach it around the chain 2 space, so just don't let this interfere with that drawstring. And then just kind of whip around and attach. Do a nice sturdy going down the double crochet that you have. The weight will be on this particular handle for sure when you're lifting it around. And once you're satisfied with that, then you're just going to weave in your ends. So you could tie a knot if you wanted to, so just have it knot onto itself, and therefore you won't be as paranoid as I get. And then go back and forth inside the project 3 times. And then once you're happy with that, that's good. This is the starting strand that you see there, so you can just take that and you're gonna weave that in as well. And then you'll take that spare strand that you cut, create a slip knot on the one side, and lay the handle so that it's flat like this. Feed the strand that does not have the slip knot on the side, so the slip knot's on the other side. So what I want to do is I want to come in to this part here. Just don't worry about that drawstring. Just fold this out so you can see it. And as you get close to that slip knot, just pull it through there. And so you're going to whip stitch yourself down the side of the handle. Again, do a good job on it so that it gets really stuck in there so that you can have confidence in it. And when you're satisfied with it, you can put a knot into it so it doesn't want to come out. And then again, back and forth a total of 3 times. Like that. And then that beginning strand, same thing as what we have been doing. And you'll also want to take care of that strand as well. So we want to make sure nothing is in there. So we just want to take the rest of the strands back and forth inside the project 3 times. These strands are already kind of secured as they are, so it's just a matter of hiding them in. And 2 times is just not enough, it will pop out. So 3 times back and forth is the best answer. This is the part of the slip knot, if you recall. And again, just back and forth inside the project. 1, 2, and 3. And now we have a miniature version of what that blanket should look like when it's all done. So you have a handle up here. You have the drawstrings. So when you're good to go, you're just gonna pull up on it and it will pull all of the pieces in there. So you might want to grab like this and pull, and therefore it'll condense, and therefore you can do that. So when you're not using it, you can just lay it on out and you can have a nice comfortable play mat to be on, and then when you get time to go, just put your stuff in the middle, draw it up, and then you're good. That's it for today. Have a good one. It's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. See ya.